In today's adventure, we will explore some of the historical homes, churches, and structures that surround the downtown Bainbridge area. This will also include an exclusive tour of the Decatur County Courthouse's magnificent courtroom. I will be driving to the first two locations and will be driving to the last location. All the other places will be part of a walking tour. Welcome back to my part 3 video here in Bainbridge, Georgia. Today we're going on a walking tour and visit some amazing historical places. I am Danny and welcome to my channel, Danovator, where my experiences become your adventure. As we view each place of interest, I will provide on screen its historical designated name and the date of its finished construction. This structure was located downtown on Shotwell Street. At that location, it was the boyhood home of former Mayor B.K. Reynolds. Later it was moved to this location and is now home of the Decatur County Chamber of Commerce. The chamber lies on the banks of the Flint River. Now we're going to leave the boat basin and drive to our next destination. Over to the left is the First United Methodist Church. And there's the First Baptist Church. And also over to the left are some old houses that we will walk by in just a few moments. I'm going to drive south to these back streets to 640 Hall Street. Our next destination is approaching to the left. This is the Nelson Chapel, which is located on 640 Hall Street. I love that big majestic oak tree to the right. The basement was carved out with hammers and chisels by the Jackson brothers, and the broken stones were hauled off by horse and buggy. Now it's time to find us a parking space downtown so we can start our walking tour. I just parked here at Willis Park. Now we're going to start walking south on West Street. We are approaching the First United Methodist Church. This church is located on the busy Shotwell Street west of where I parked. This church is a Romanesque Revival style structure. Located across the street from the Methodist Church are a couple of historical homes we can look at. This house once belonged to Dr. Gordon Chason. The all-new Chason Park in Bainbridge is named after him. Next to the Chason Miller home is the Harrell Reddick home. This Greek Revival style home was where Judge W.M. Harrell lived. It is now the home of the Southern Forestry Consultants. Located on 320 Washington Street, this antebellum Georgia style mansion is where you can stay for a visit. We're finna cross the street and go east on Flint. We're gonna head south on West Street. Yeah, I know. Located on 722 Southwest Street, this Empire-style home was built by Oliver Evans and was once all alone on 26.5 acres of land. Located next to the Evans Sexton is this two-story home which was built by John S. Thomas and was built with local virgin pine timber. And to complete the trio of historical homes located on South West Street is this home, which was built by a prominent local businessman named E.J. Perry. This was the first house in Bainbridge with an indoor toilet. Now we're going to head east on Evans Street. This home, located on 110 East Evans Street, was originally a Queen Anne style that was later altered into a neoclassical style. It was built by Captain Joe S. Desvergers. Located at 200 East Evans Street, built by John W. Callahan, owner of a fleet of steamboats, this neoclassical style home contains murals in its living room of scenes of the Flint River. Mr. Callahan would also serve as mayor and serve as a Georgia state senator. Located at 416 East Evans Street, this home's first owner was D.T. Mathis. Now we're going to head back west. Located at 309 East Evans, this simple cottage design was built by Judge H.B. Spooner, who was once a circuit judge in Bainbridge for 20 years. We're coming up on the Temple Bethel on the corner of Broad and Evans. This neoclassical revival style structure was once home to Bainbridge's small Jewish community. Heading north on Broad Street, the Historical Archive believes that this house's front rooms are the oldest standing structures in town. There were no dates of its construction. I will take a left onto Shotwell Street and visit a house that's located there. This house is located on 104 East Shotwell Street. It was built by Thomas C. Wainman. In 1900, Mr. Wainman built a 4-story structure in Bainbridge known as the Wainman Hotel. Now we're going to start walking east on Shotwell. Located on the corner of Broad and Shotwell, this Romanesque revival-style church still contains its original pews and stained glass. Continuing east down Shotwell, we come to this house, which was built by Sam Hinds. This house is unique because its windows were intended for an Episcopal church. The church was destroyed by a hurricane before the windows were able to be installed. This colonial revival-style home was built by Dr. R.F. Wheat. It still has its original spectacular iron fence. This Queen Anne style home contains elaborate molding, tin ceilings, and stained glass windows. The dining room is large enough to seat up to 50 people. The Ehrlich family who lived here also owned a local drugstore and a public swimming pool. To me, it has a Disney World Cinderella Castle style to it. Now it's time to cross Shotwell and start heading west. This Queen Anne style home, which is located on 525 East Shotwell, was built by John E. Donaldson, for whom the Georgia town of Donaldsonville is named. It still has the original carriage house in the backyard and was the first home in Bainbridge to have wire screening. It once contained Tiffany signed stained glass, but later was removed and sold to an antique dealer. Located beside the Donaldson Rollins home is this Tudor Revival style home, which was built by Mart Harrell. This was the first Bainbridge home to be built with concrete blocks. Upstairs, it contains a freestanding fireplace, which means that the fireplace does not extend down through the floor to the bottom level. This Victorian era styled home was built by James Ralph Graves. He was a Bainbridge alderman. It was here at 505 East Shotwell Street that Jane Callahan and Eunice Penhallegon opened a kindergarten in its old carriage house in the 1940s. Built by Charles H. Caldwell, this home was considered modernistic because it contains 10-foot ceilings instead of the ordinary 12. In 1947, an elevator was installed. This home's real highlight is beveled glass windows, which created a beautiful light prism. This Queen Anne style house was built by George O. Smith. In 1918, Robert C. Coleman became the owner of this magnificent structure, which is highlighted by turrets, bay windows, and porches. This classical revival style church's construction started in 1916, but was not completed until 1920 because of World War I. All right, we're going to head north on Clay. Well, not 100% how to pronounce that, but we're going to call it Brofton Street. We're going to head east. This house is located at 418 East Brofton Street. This is a great example of a craftsman-style home. Calvin C. Willis built this prairie-style home, which would become the first home in Bainbridge to have central heat. This Gothic Revival-style church, which is located at 516 East Brofton, is believed to be the oldest church in use in this county. My information says that the old bell tower still rings out to the community. Still heading east on Brofton Street, this Queen Anne style home was built by a banker who was also a historian, Frank Jones. In 1960, Dr. L.W. Willis Jr. purchased this home and had a local architect to add a basement den and a second-story master bedroom. This federal-style home was built by a local hardware store owner, Julian B. Kwilecki. It is rumored that Julian wanted to ensure that his home would always be unique by not sharing his floor plans. Now I'm fixing to cross Brofton and start heading back west. This massive home is going through some major restoration. This 2.5-story neoclassical home contained bricks from its owner's brickyard that was located in West Bainbridge. The owner, Larry F. Patterson, was also the sheriff. This home was built by M.V. Woodhull. He lived in Monroe, New York, and wanted a winter home. It was originally a Queen Anne style home until in the 1940s the porch and the turret were removed. This property where this house is located was once a peach orchard. J.B. Long purchased this home in 1935. So up here at Crawford Street, we're going to head north. After turning the corner on Crawford Street, we find the Firehouse Arts Center. What makes this building unique is that it's the only example of mission architect in South Georgia. To me, it resembles the front of the Alamo in Texas. William Augustus Edwards of Atlanta designed this building. He is responsible for more than 25 other works that are included in the National Register of Historical Places. The Odd Fellows Building and Auditorium in Atlanta is one of his well-known creations. Throughout the years, the Firehouse Art Center served as the City Hall, a firehouse, a library, and a public safety headquarters. It now serves the community by enriching them with instruction and providing a revolving regional art gallery for local talented artists. Across the street from the Firehouse Art Center is the spectacular Decatur County Courthouse. Alexander Blair III, who was credited for creating the Grand Opera House in Macon, Georgia, designed this neoclassical building. This was the first courthouse he designed. I am privileged to be able to take you with me inside this beautiful and historical courtroom upstairs. This courtroom was even used in a Hollywood movie called Brother's Keeper. Michael Rooker, who played Merle Dixon in the Walking Dead series and who also played Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy, played the part of Chief Carver. I want to thank the staff of the Decatur County Courthouse who allowed me to film my segment inside this magnificent location. Bainbridge is stepping up their downtown revitalization. This crosswalk mural accents the brick streets. Located on the north side of Willis Park is the Bon Air Hotel, which was originally known as the Sharon House back in the 1860s. It became known as Bon Air in 1901 after it was remodeled. It closed during the 1960s and became abandoned and neglected, but was brought back to life in the 1990s. It is now home to 10 upscale apartments and 6 storefront commercial spaces. Also located on the east side of this structure is the Decatur County Historical Museum. Please watch my tour of that museum if you haven't done so already. Willis Park is a central location for historical downtown Bainbridge, Georgia. It was named after Elijah James Willis, who was mayor from 1904 to 1907. His idea for building a hydroelectric dam which provided a continuous availability of water for the city was responsible for once saving the complete destruction of several buildings during a fire that claimed the old courthouse where the park now stands. Surrounded by an abundance of great dining and unique specialty shops, the Willis Park is a scenic place for community gatherings and events throughout the year. It is also a place for reflection, for the memories of Bainbridge's past. And you gotta love that cool cannon. It is that time that we are going to our last historical place. But don't quit watching because you don't want to miss the train. I'm traveling north on West Street. Now I'm going to turn onto Calhoun Street. And then turn on Webster Street. And our final destination is here on the left. Located here at 519 Webster Street is Bainbridge First African Baptist Church. This Gothic Revival style church's interior was patterned after the chapel located at the Tuskegee Institute in Alabama. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. Remember to please subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when I come out with my next video. Please join me the next time as our video adventure takes us into the Oak City Cemetery. See y'all the next time.